This is AV SuperFriends Off the Rails, an almost regularly scheduled open discussion on audio and video in higher education. We'll sound off about our most brilliant ideas, our dumbest mistakes, and everything in between. And because this conversation will almost certainly go off the rails at some point, we'll end up covering just about everything else. And now, the AV SuperFriends. For June 13th, 2023. Holy smokes. It's the AV SuperFriends Off the Rails. I got too many cables here. We're doing this live. This is crazy.
We talked about this.
This is not going well. Anyway, welcome back, everybody. Time for another Friday afternoon podcast adventure, except we are recording on Tuesday morning.
This is going great, Chris. What are you talking about?
We're off the ground. We are getting up to cruising altitude quickly.
This could have been a lot worse.
This was 2 hours of setup, but we have photos and things going out on the tweeters to see what the heck we are up to here. So I would say inaugural. We have 5 of the 6 AV SuperFriends in the same room, recording on the same gear. This is
time
momentous.
Ever.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm not gonna lie.
We're getting
this is weird.
Real-time feedback. There's no slight delay going over clean feed or others. So I didn't finish introducing to let you know who's here. My name is Chris Decter. I'm joined today by Larry, Jamie, Justin, Mark.
Whoa.
And Rachel arriving sometime today. So we're going to do...
She's in the air somewhere.
We're going to do recordings this week with all 6 AV SuperFriends.
Stay tuned.
Wow.
So if you're listening to this right now, just hang on. It's the same recording.
It's good. We'll update it.
Same show.
Same show. Do not move. It's at the end. So after the show fades out, there's some silence, but then the other show starts. So
links in the show notes.
We're just going to keep this closet the entire week.
So, yeah, we found a fantastic spot on the 4th floor of the convention center. Larry's going to post a tweet. Did you already tweet?
I already tweeted.
I already tweeted. For people who are listening out there live right now, which you can't be, but we're just going to say that we may be joined by people who are indeed watching the tweeters and can find us.
You guys can hear the background noise of the convention center happening in real time.
We might have like a stranger danger problem depending on who shows up.
Dang it, Larry, and our backs are to the opening.
They have to be on the tweeters. Where's the other? Do you have the other headset ready?
It's
yeah, we're good.
We're good.
Okay.
We got it.
Cool. We're ready.
We have a headset available for people if they show up, but
we'll see what happens.
As those of you who got the pre-show on there, as you heard Larry complaining that my notes weren't complete because I had them in the wrong document, but we do have some stuff to talk about. On today's show, we're going to discuss Apple announcing goggles. We're going to discuss Apple announcing your next video conference solution that you didn't know about and don't want, but someone's going to ask for it.
Oh, you're getting it.
A lot.
And we're going to talk about the Higher Ed AV Awards, at which we were all in attendance last night. And let me just say that our table had the most awards of any table.
There was a lot of weight on that table.
There was.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Also, I think if we consider ourselves an organization, our organization had the most awards of any organization.
I don't think so.
Who had more?
The Igloo people.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, the Igloo people beat
Igloo
us.
cleaned up.
Igloo with the $25 million video wall room.
I wonder how many hits they had to their website last night with those awards, because everybody's like, what the heck is this?
I want to go check them out.
It is a cool little thing. It is.
So they pivoted from making
a
coolers to making video
Full
walls.
on
I do
deal.
believe that's
a big
different.
jump. Do we want to explain what Igloo is?
Nope.
Nope. They
Later.
can go
Look it
Google
up.
it.
We'll deal with that later. So let's get into it. We got our news story here. Let me just spoil it with. So Apple came out, announced a very special product, and Apple, in their own way, they had a celebrity come out and announce for them, and they announced
industrial strength night vision goggles,
and they look fantastic. Wait, no.
Wait, do that again.
I don't know.
You want to run it again?
Yeah, do it again.
Do it again.
industrial strength night vision goggles.
And that was from the announcement, right? That was how they announced it?
So when you put them on, it's dark as night.
Yes.
That's what my night vision is.
Yes. These are industrial strength.
I don't think it works like
Apple announced what everyone's been waiting for, because until Apple does it, apparently it's not real. I don't know. But I'll have to play the drop because you've all been waiting for it.
Goggles on, please.
Apple announced $3,500, and they suspiciously did not call it virtual reality. They called it mixed reality.
Yeah.
So they're leaning heavily into
XR.
that.
I saw it as spatial computing as well.
Yeah, I saw that
That's
too.
the buzzword.
I almost wonder,
That
are
looked
they
cool.
Are they
Yeah.
trying to stay away from the virtual reality term?
Yes.
I think
They're
so.
afraid
yeah.
of you. I think mostly.
Yes, I do, because people think virtual reality is a game.
Yeah.
Virtual reality is a goof. But when you have mixed reality, and you can see through them, when you have mixed reality, and I like Rachel talked about on one of our shows, the idea of putting these things on like an airplane. Mm-hmm. And now I don't know about the using your fingers in the air to type.
Yeah, the
I
keyboard
would rather
thing
have
was weird.
a real like Bluetooth keyboard or something. But
no,
cool
only finger air.
Think of all the new like weird cultural things you're going to get. People like walking down the street on their phones, but now it's going to be people are going to be. You've heard them talking through the Bluetooth thing, but now what's it going to be when like all these weird
like
gestures
groping
and
each
shit?
other? Just,
it's like everybody's going to be on acid. They're seeing everything, walking through the streets, looking at stuff.
But if they can miniaturize, I mean, look, let's face it. This is a big, bulky, and gross. But if they miniaturize it,
it's snowboard goggles,
and put it into a set of regular glasses,
like Google Glass.
Now it's a heads-up glass.
Weren't
only better.
You need to go back and look at what those looked like.
Those were dorky back then. I will admit that. But are they any better or worse than these?
But they would be cool now as per hipster trends because they look obnoxious. So that means they're cool.
I do think it was interesting that during the entire product release spiel, there was never a shot of these being used for games. Apple was deliberately separating VR games from this.
It wasn't even business. It was just like, do your Apple.
We're going to do Excel files and
do
XR.
your Apple crap.
I'm excited about that.
No, the Excel files was me posting memes.
Yeah, I know. So.
No, all they showed. So that I do have a response to this. I'll let you guys continue here.
Uh-oh.
Apple, they clearly did not have a direction for these. They're just throwing them out there. So
just as technology, just hey, here's this thing. Go use it. Tell us what you think.
If you recall, when the iPhone first came out, it did not have applications. That took like 2 years.
It's going to take a while.
When the watch came out, it was designed to be like this like productivity thing, which couldn't. And then it found its niche as a health device, like for tracking.
Is that what
activities.
it is? To me, it's still a watch. Like I'm trying to figure. I have millions of apps on this, and it fundamentally tells time and tells me that I'm getting
and not very well.
So I taught with Justin Watts, who works for Apple. He put those on 3 or 4 weeks before they were released, and I think he mentioned, I could be wrong about this, that it wasn't intended for games at all.
No,
even though it will likely be used for games.
I think like the medical piece of it is important, like the way that whole like heads up piece of that, and like the additive data for whatever it is you're about to do.
I have that in my notes, but spelled as medial.
Well, I don't have the notes, Chris, so I'm sorry. So.
Well, I spelled it wrong anyway, so
I stole Larry's notes.
So let me give you my take on this. So here's my thoughts on the Apple magical
goggles on, please.
They're $3,500 for a reason, because they don't want people to buy them. The $3,500, no, seriously, it's a deliberate deterrent. It is a dev unit. It is not for the average schmoes out there.
That's still cheaper than a comparable model that's out there right now. So the $3,500 seems expensive, but if you compare to other models.
So let me continue here. You're not wrong there, but
how much are the other?
A lot.
The basic, but if you compare it to your basic like consumer VR goggles, they're like $400 or $500. So. They don't want these priced, so everyone runs out and buys them. They're also not going to be available for like a year anyway. But they're not for the average schmoes. There's no joystick. There's no interface. We talked about that. You're just going to go air fingering people.
Whoa.
Yeah, I said it.
There's the title.
So within a year, you watch. Here's my prediction. Within a year, everybody who makes this sort of thing is going to copy Apple's interface. They do it every freaking time.
Yeah, they're going to make an OS.
What's clear to me is Apple spent a lot of time on the interface side of this, not on the hardware, not on the software. I mean, like the application software, but on the interface. How do you interact with it? That's what's going to get copied, because everybody else has the little joysticks, or Jamie, like you were saying, a Bluetooth keyboard or something. And here you've got Apple going around finger banging people in the air. So we'll see how that turns out. It's going to be strange, but everyone's going to use gestures. They're going to use the eye blinky thing. They're going to do all this weird stuff. It is right now. It has the same problem as the iPad when it first came out, and it still does to some extent. It's not for content creation. It's for content consumption. All their demos showed people sitting on a sofa looking like a moron, but like watching the movies or whatever. Again, don't care. This is never going mainstream in educational spaces, despite all the people right now salivating.
Oh, I got a use case for you.
You're exactly right. You have a use case in a very specific place with specific content. Everyone has this idea of, I'm going to replace all my classrooms and people are going to sit in their rooms with this. It's never going to happen. Knock it off. It's never going mainstream in our general classroom spaces. Only the 3 richest kings of Europe will ever afford one. It has very specific industrial, medical, and military applications. It is not, in its current state, a consumer device. I still don't care about this. And finally,
you seem to, though.
You're heated about it.
Very adamant.
I had to spin this up because you guys expect it, so I had to write this. Anyone who talks about VR as the next big thing is freaking out of ideas. Anyone remember the metaverse and the fact that they've already shut that down before it launched? I don't give a crap. Larry, go.
Oh,
Wow.
So,
Why
I'll
are
go.
you
You want me to
pointing?
go? I'll go.
because you were gesturing wildly.
I was
I
waving
have-
my finger
I
over
have
here.
one thing is
Go ahead.
you are focused on the classroom, and this will not
'cause
replace
that-
the classroom experience.
Correct.
This was not meant to replace the
I didn't
classroom
say
experience. This is going to impact education,
Absolutely is.
just not in the classroom.
Nope.
So I believe the trend being experiential learning. Let's use that as our language here. Experiential learning. So our classroom is shifting out of the traditional four walls, projection screen below it. So we're investing highly in research, laboratories, things like that. Sure. This is aligned specifically to that. Now think about driving simulators. Wait until Tesla has their app, and you put this on, you have additional content in your Tesla that's opened up and unlocked on there with your goggles. Think about what fun the world will be with this.
I was agreeing with him till he went.
Yeah,
down
but no,
this
I'm just
path.
saying. But that's when things are going to get weird.
No,
but think about it from
I
the
agree, yeah.
additional driving pieces, any type of machinery.
But that's why
that
I
kind of
said
stuff.
it has uses in industrial, medical, and military.
But I
it
think
does not
that-
have use in general education.
But I think the nuance here is general education itself is shifting away from that traditional model of just throw content at students. It's trying to immerse them in things. Anything that we can use to immerse students in additional data and experience is going to make its way into the classroom.
I do see things such as this making its way into particular engineering, dental, because
I said medical.
well, in the classrooms, and these we have all these dental labs, and we have all these simulation things in our medical programs, our education
Nursing.
programs, nursing
Like,
programs.
I'm building a nursing
You guys
lab
just
right
keep
now.
backing me up. It's great.
Yeah.
and we're
but
already
somehow we sound more positive about it than you do.
I'm not
really
negative.
sure.
Here's where I'm negative. The people who see this and go, I'm going to buy 400 of those for my
Yeah.
general classroom.
And we're going to go to Spain.
And then we're going to go to Spain.
But I see it in bio. Like that we talked about the biology programs before.
Sure.
Like let's
Specialized high-end programs with specialized programs with high-end content. Yes, makes sense.
I'm
a
with
dentist
Mark.
in Spain.
Now-
I've got
Dentists
two
can go to
uses.
Spain. Good point.
Okay,
I've
so
got two uses for that.
but I do think that Apple doing this is going to drive content creators in a more serious aspect than before. When it was Meta and Facebook, nobody gave two
Who's
craps.
the other one? Because Oculus is Facebook. Who's the other one?
I think Meta's Facebook. isn't
No,
it?
Yeah.
HTC.
Whatever they are,
Yeah. I'm
right?
just-
But people thought them as toys, as CES kind of things.
Living room features.
Yes, but I think now Apple comes out with this, and Chris, to your point, the iPad, the watch, the first iPhones, they had very limited.
Yeah, people don't recall
Content.
not bad, but how limited the iPhone was for its first 3 years.
But then all of a sudden, it drove a market of content creation that took it to a more serious level. And I think I don't think that these goggles are going to be ubiquitous, but I do think the drive towards better content and purpose-built things because it's Apple and not Meta.
Well,
Yeah.
also because they went through that with the iPhone, that came out the iPad. Well, it's like the content creation engine and the backplane of all of that is already developed. So one would think that the content creation for these goggles is going to happen quicker.
Yeah.
Right?
We hope.
It's a different medium, though.
But
I think it's going to have to change the way people
Like different types of content creators need to be involved.
different thought
Have you
behind the
seen
development.
the people who like the coders out there that have code running and then the output of the compiler and all that, and they have massive wraparound screens like in an office. That aligns itself perfectly for a goggle experience where you're doing all this. You're being immersed in that. And I've seen people that are interested in it from that perspective.
For their
Massive amount
personal
of screen
office.
real estate that they get
For their
without
work.
having to invest in all these monitors and arms and all kinds of weird stuff.
It's a
But
work
we're
tool.
already having issues with our vision because we never look beyond 6
But-
inches,
and
18 inches
that was
ahead
one
of
of
us.
the biggest problems with the development of getting that focal point actually accurate so it actually worked for people when they actually move around. And it changes person to person. So having that alignment, there's a lot of R&D that went into this, and that is being reflected in the price and the scarcity that Chris is talking about it. So Chris is all in. So
100%.
100% in. Every classroom going to Spain.
That's all we're doing. It's all it does, too.
Yeah. It's just loaded
You
with that
turn it on, it
content.
just goes to Spain.
So a quick update on this.
if you're in Spain, it stays in Spain.
Our VR updates on campus it's growing. Like our application is launched. We did the 6 modules; those are all full. People are still banging down the doors to get content into our VR experience that started off with just ag, bringing farm to potential students as an enrollment piece. But there's more departments interested in developing content, and the people who started it as just a grant, they have now become these massive gatekeepers for content for VR AR. And so there's definitely an extreme amount of interest from different organizations all across the university for it. It may have seemed like a fad, but people still want it, and people are going to vote with their dollars and their feet. And if universities have it and invest in it, I do believe they will reap the benefits.
So with this agriculture thing, were they the first ones in at your university?
Yeah, they applied for the grant during COVID, and they were given a ton of money to focus on enrollment and engagement, and
that
they went on
is
this.
Super interesting that they were the first ones in, because you think agriculture,
right. in Oregon now, I'm speaking from Oregon, it is the largest IoT environment we have. So many sensors, cameras, all this stuff, all across the state, all relying upon university infrastructure and network. It's massive if you think about it, the endpoint counts that you have out in farms. Like it's ridiculous.
Agriculture IoT is giant.
It's huge.
And all the passwords are admin.
Well, that's just whatever.
You know, my family is big.
Bunch of farmers
ranchers. Yes. And when I go and the amount of information that they're pulling on their phones from all of the temperature levels, the moisture levels of all their grain bins, they're getting all of they're flying regular drone things. I'm like, you're flying commercial drones. He's like, yeah, why not?
Why not?
Now I don't have to leave my house to check my cattle.
And now you can put goggles on and be there in real
go.
time. Instead of going to Spain, we can go to a cornfield in the middle of Iowa.
Well, and the cattle tags are RFID. I mean, it's ridiculous the amount of IoT that's there. It's amazing.
And so there's a huge push to get broadband and cellular and 5G out to all these rural areas just so they can get that IoT. It's not about just getting people connected to have internet access.
So it sounds like farmers are going to wear goggles before teachers.
They're going to drive their combines with Apple goggles.
Yes.
That's what's going to happen.
That's not out of question. They're already driving them GPS anyway. They're already sitting in there doing business and just letting the tractor do its thing. Now they're in there to interfere if something goes crazy.
Hit cruise control.
But yes, you're right. They will be able to monitor that stuff from their goggles. And now, I don't think we're going to get there anytime soon. It's going to be a different generation.
Another week or two, we'll be down there driving combines. From
just like every other thing, productivity drives profits. And if you can be more productive, you make more money.
Well, and another thing I keep hearing at the events we've already been to is how that the students we're trying to reach are digital native. And yeah, we can downplay some of the impact in their general courses and things like that. But at some point, if the students are used to this technology, we're going to, we're going to, the administration and everything else is going to expect this to be part of our offerings.
Kind of like how we know refrigerators were around when we grew up, right?
I mean, when students tour campuses, they want to see where the technology, where their technology fees are.
Refrigerators are new food.
It's very new to Kentucky.
And so they're going to be keeping up with the Joneses. Technology arms race on campus is a thing. And if you're not investing in that, then you're probably not going to see that enrollment. You will see your enrollment die and dwindle, and you're going to lose your lifeblood to your university. Like that's your money.
I'm interested to see how our university handles that.
VGA.
Well, in about 40 years, as you retire, you'll find out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, these goggles have VGA input, I'm assuming, right?
They're only VGA. They run exclusively non-HDCP.
Do they run on AA's?
VGA and token ring
So,
network.
by the way, that is one of the things they demonstrated. Guys, this has a big old battery pack. It only runs for like 2 hours. Now, knowing Apple, that 2 hours actually means what, like 45 minutes or something?
If you're actually using it.
It depends on what firmwear you're on.
Yeah. But logically, you're going to have to be plugged in. So, it'll be interesting. I don't know. I mean, we'll see how it goes. I think that there's more application for these in those specialized medical, industrial, military fields than there is for just general, let's go to Spain.
If we all had them and could do this show and be in VR goggles together.
I wouldn't be on the show.
Oh, come on. We're getting them now.
Yeah, we have to test them.
We have to test them.
How much money's in the AVSF account?
Well, the show's a lot different.
I think we got like half the amount we need
for one pair of
goggles.
We got to get a sponsor. If you're listening and have a ton of money that you need to get out for your books before the end of fiscal year,
and you hate Chris being on the show.
Yes. If you want to see Chris wearing goggles and are willing to buy them for him to
we
put
just
on and
need
wear,
another $1,250.
Go ahead and submit an email to us at the avsf.com, and we will we'll spin that gladly for you.
So what do you think, Chris? Now that we have a commercial,
Wait.
let's have a commercial.
Yeah, go for it.
Larry's got stuff to say here.
Yeah, we still have the other one. Like, this
Yeah,
is
there's
the
still more.
future.
Whoa.
What's going to happen next week when you go back
This
to
is the one.
campus?
This one's more important. Yeah.
You're going to have people asking, why can't I use my Apple TV in my dean's conference room?
Oh, okay. So yeah, put a pin in that. We're going to follow right back up to Mark's comment about if you want to yell at us a little bit. Here's a fun time commercial for you to listen to.
As many of you know, the Super Friends have always been better received when we have more input from you. So, here's your chance. Send us a note at mailbag@avsuperfriends.com and get involved with the show. We're looking for some topics to discuss, some fellow nerds to talk to, or just general AV awesomeness to brag about. But remember, we'll probably steal your ideas. And I suppose we'd take some criticism, but that wouldn't be very nice. Anyway, drop us a note at mailbag@avsuperfriends.com and find out how quickly we ask you to join this nonsense.
All right, so we just teased there the announcement from Apple that was kind of, I guess, maybe buried. It was just kind of a throwaway comment from them. Something that we thought they should have done 3 years ago. 3 years ago, at least, when everyone started working from home.
Well, that's how they drive the market. They're here. Focus on this while we go over here and make a bunch of money.
They're not going to make any money on this, not as it currently stands. But what they announced was the
Say
ability
that now.
what they announced as it currently stands, again, the ability for you to, by jumping through several hoops, use FaceTime on your Apple TV, which means the little tiny appliance, it's $99, that every dean seems to want because it works with their iPad at home.
What do you want? What do I want?
Because, well, if you think about it, they all like the Apple TV because that's what they have at home.
Yeah.
It works because you're in a closed network with Apple devices and everything. That's fine. They say we want wireless sharing, so you give them an appropriate wireless sharing appliance. And I think we would all say right now the current state of wireless sharing appliances is trash at best. Regardless of your brand of choice, they're all...
I'd say recycled.
So I think the best thing we can say is they all sort of work, but they require you to jump through hoops. Like, let me do 3 steps to make it. So,
I think the biggest problem with it is the security of them
Right.
that we have to have,
There's
and then they want Apple, and
Yeah.
no. Before we get to that, there's with current ones, there's security issues. Firmware gets abandoned. The performance isn't great. You run into firmware problems, etc. Anyway, so what Apple is saying is that $99 box using our goofball, what they call the continuity camera, which is their way to wirelessly share your camera from your iPhone, and I think maybe iPad, but at least iPhone, to the Apple TV. Yes. So you can now, but you now have to do that. So now you have to have 2 things on a network, which, to your point, Justin, don't like the network.
But I don't know, because Apple has that Bluetooth handshake.
Yeah.
So that you don't
have to have
necessarily
Bonjour. Yeah, I mean, we put Apple TVs on our network all
but
the
you are
time.
the only one out of all of us
We
that
have
make
You know
that
what's gonna
work.
make
We
this
have
nice.
a commercial management platform to deal with.
And so I want to say one last thing is apparently as part of their development, this is all their developer conference. So there's stuff that they mentioned here that didn't really make the news, but this opens a framework for other applications to use this same sort of feature set. They also announced the ability for standard UVC USB webcams to work on iPads. And presumably that means iPhone. So at a certain point, they raised the question, can I just plug a standard UVC compliant
That's the one you
camera
want.
of some sort into my Apple TV? And now we've got the magic bullet. So
that's the one I've always been questioning because it has the USB-C on the back of the box already. I've always wondered, when's that going to happen? Now, the use case I have, which is terrible all the way around, you guys can laugh and we'll have fun. Imagine just having the Apple TV and then our favorite product sitting in the middle of a table hooked to that wirelessly doing its thing.
No.
The Owl
the
Cam.
Hootie Who?
the Apple Hootie Hoo.
That's coming.
Well,
this is going to happen.
Yes, that tie-in, that plug-in, and I think that's where this is starting. Now they're starting out with FaceTime and being in the Apple environment, but it's not long before Hootie Hoo comes out.
They're going to
with
get in there. Yeah.
Hootie Hoo with Apple.
Apple compliant.
And it Bluetooth shares or USB shares to the damn thing.
And where this is going to happen is everybody's going to go home for the holidays. They're going to sit down in their house, turn on their TV or their Apple TV, and we're going to call Grandma and Grandpa over the river and through the woods, and we're going to sit here and have our camera hooked up. We're going to see them on TV. They're all going to come back to school and be like, I had the greatest experience. My nieces and nephews, I want that same thing in my office. I want that.
Yeah,
and that's what's going to happen.
It's going to take some time. It won't be next week, Larry.
Oh, they're going to start asking for it.
It's going to take at least 2 weeks.
It's Christmas.
No.
Christmas time.
I live in Kentucky. Everything's like 2 to 6 months behind.
Okay.
2 to 6. That's a
At
very
least.
random.
So it's going to take a long time
that
for
supply chain
somebody to
related?
realize what they can do with that. Kind of to Mark's point,
It's a Christmas
thing.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that and then so next year I'm going to get my first request in March of 2024.
I've got schools on my campus that are already heavily Apple invested. They're going to ask for this in their conference rooms next week.
It's happening.
I think
We'll
it's
see.
going to be because I was telling my daughter she's going to college and she wants to buy a thing and she's like, well, I'm waiting for their school sale. I was like, it already happens. They have their developer conference announcement, and then they open up the education sales, and they'll drive that until Labor Day. And so they're going to drive, and guess what? You get a $150 rebate when you buy an Apple thing. How much is an Apple TV? $150.
Exactly.
And now all of a sudden,
it's the
boom,
infrastructure.
done.
Now the infrastructure is all out there, and that's how it rolls, right? And so I don't know. I'm not against it. I've always been saying, where is my conferencing little box that's not a full-fledged Windows machine that allows this type of service in an enterprise environment, right? And so
It's the enterprise environment. That's
yes,
tough for it,
yeah.
so,
and that I'm surprised we've been missing it for so many years. And I don't
Well,
say
I
Apple
was
is
surprised-
it, but it sure as hell seems a whole hell of a
To
lot
your
closer
point,
to everybody else.
I was surprised even from the home stuff. They didn't like when COVID rolled around. They didn't quickly pivot and say, "Here's the ability to use webcams on your Apple TV." Because you think about it, and it was weird that we didn't see a huge amount of product uptake. Everyone was working from home.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has functionally the same thing as a conference room display in their living room.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has some sort of box, Apple, Roku, NVIDIA Shield, whatever it is. Why wasn't that like a big thing to suddenly hook up? And I know, yes, there's people out there yelling at their car stereos right now. Yes, I did it. Other
Pay
people
attention.
did it, etc.
Traffic.
But why didn't that become a bigger market? And it was kind of surprising that Apple didn't lean into that. That would have been an easy thing for
That's
them to
what
rev
I'm
that
saying.
firmware
It
and
would
do
have
it.
been nothing for them.
I'm
to
surprised
do.
the Resi crowd hasn't said, hey, we're going to build you in this home office
The perfect
a
work
really
from home,
nice
yeah.
work from home, telepresence enabled, whatever you want to call it, collaborative environment where you can have whatever you need, and we're going to specialize in that. Rexing, get on that. That's like a market.
We're
for
not buying anything until Apple makes an Apple room.
the Apple Room.
The Apple room. That's the only way WKU will.
Dude, don't give them ideas.
The Apple
That's
room.
the thing now. It's
They
gonna be on
did
the floor.
make an Apple room. It's a
An Apple
$3,500 goggle.
No.
It's close enough.
Yeah, pretty much.
So like, we're Zoom rooms,
Apple
but now
Room.
we're using Teams.
FaceTime or Face.
then
What is it?
Where's
so
the
now
FaceTime
we
camera
room.
go on
we
the
could have
Apple room then?
rooms talk to Zoom rooms.
You need the
have
plug
this-
in the bridge.
There's a fee for that.
Yeah.
You
You need
have
an
to
appliance.
pay like $15
The
an
next
hour.
the next Apple TV is going to have an RFID reader. You can tap your credit card on, or your Apple Pay on top of it to just keep
Oh
paying.
yeah, like so the teacher walks
license.
in, puts their cell phone here.
Yep.
Ting ting.
Yep.
I could teach now.
Just like in the
Yes.
days you had to like enter a bunch of quarters to like make
yeah,
phone calls.
like a laundromat.
That would be better. I'm going to put that in my
You know that actually
my
works.
classroom vending machine.
You know, if the
See?
students got to vote with like educational tokens and the teachers got them, and I'm purely a bad teacher, so I don't have technology credits to spend in this classroom today. So
I've got all
Oh.
kinds of ideas.
yeah.
it's crypto, man. It's coming. Blockchain. Enable those instructors.
Just throwing out buzzwords now.
Yeah.
That might be the only way
Extended
blockchain
reality.
enters the
It
classroom.
could be.
It's already there.
It's
Like
the,
actual
it's the
take
economy of the
pay.
classroom. Yeah.
It'll be
From
the
a
students
phone to
figuring out
TV.
how to put rate my instructor on the
That's what I'm
blockchain.
saying. Rate my instructor, and then hey, you need help. So here's some
And
technology
there'll be
credits.
some university out there going, all right, we can monetize
Do
this.
Yeah.
It's
I'll
just
take-
data.
We'll take a fraction of that. And
Somebody
Who
else
knew
is.
the blockchain would enter the classroom through a monetary method?
Oh, that's the only way.
getting my
Yeah.
Apple TV to turn on.
Exactly.
But if you think of, I mean, I know this is now we're steering in a completely new direction. But if you could monetize your instructors
Mhm.
and say, you
Isn't
know,
that already happening?
well, we're going to charge more for Mark's class because
Yes.
he's more popular than
That's
Justin.
what I'm saying. That's what exactly.
I mean, we do that with a lot of other things. Why do we go to certain hairstylists and not
So,
others? Because
I think
they're
economy does
No,
that.
Better.
that
Why did
already
you look at me
happens.
when you said go to certain
That-
hairstylists?
that actually-
well. I mean, you've got a pretty challenging haircut.
I do. Yes.
It takes a lot. It's a lot of
I
commitment.
grow this myself.
So, man,
and it's not very
there
good at
are
it.
instructors in different departments across the nation that are leading their research, whatever it is, and
Yes.
students do tour campuses specific to get into those classrooms. It's not far-fetched to imagine that environment. Where if you got a technology-rich course or whatever track, and you had somebody who's really proficient in that, wouldn't that be the same thing? Like, hey, I'm going to go get this experience and be immersed in this person's.
That's kind of my point is if you're a good instructor, you're going to move to a higher paying job at other colleges. And so it's like a head coach for a basketball team that brings their players with them in college. It's the same theory.
Yes, in a little bit, but I'm thinking even look in the little microcosm of AV campus and say maybe Mark is just comfortable being the best adjunct. And, well, that guy's not going to move because he probably has a really good job.
Oh, not per subject, but overall per school under that umbrella.
Yeah, and inside the school, the kids are going, I mean, we already see the numbers. Yeah. Kids fight, and they enroll in this class because this teacher is A, easy, B, really good, something, or they're very popular.
Super handsome.
Now they start tagging them with these meta tags, and all of a sudden we see...
Like on their back.
Actually, Mark's worth a lot. Yeah. So let's
monetize that.
If you want in Mark's class, it's $15 extra
it's premium.
Or whatever it is.
Oh, that's interesting.
Sell the premium experience.
By students basically using micro payments, what's the term? Satoshis and things to
sats.
Sats.
Stack them.
To
stack those
to
sats.
donate tiny little amounts as a recognition of I like what this guy's doing right now.
And now because
you can do it.
Like
it's all there.
In youth sports and coaching, I'm not coaching the top team because I don't travel, but I can't afford to travel.
No, you just don't.
But
like
if kids were willing to come play with me because they're like, well, look, we're not a traveling kind of kid, but we like what Jamie does. Yeah. We like what so the club should pay more for me. I'm attracting people to come in. Now the high research ends, the Harvards of the world. You saying I'm not attractive, Larry?
No, it's something you said. I'll just blow past it. It's now a show title.
I'm just so glad that we finally turned this podcast into a crypto podcast. And like the Lightning Network and the Satoshis, like that is how you monetize.
I haven't heard
same thing.
the word blockchain in like a year.
You said it last night in your acceptance.
Yeah, you
did.
I said metaverse.
He said metaverse. He called me out on
it's
metaverse.
the same thing.
It is not
neither one's going to work.
thing.
So, I like the idea of Jamie. You mentioned sports. I like the idea of people doing secondhand off-track betting via Satoshis during like live games.
I will have my wallet on the website. If you guys would go ahead and donate any amount of Satoshis, they will go to a
I'll
good
give
home.
you one Satoshi right now.
I don't know.
I'll take it.
How much is a Satoshi now?
100
100 million.
100 millionth of a Bitcoin.
I haven't been on this platform, but this sounds a lot like OnlyFans.
Okay,
you're not far. You're not far off.
Because the most popular thing
gets
all
all
the highest pay and gets the most attraction.
I mean,
is that what we're
it.
talking
if we're
about?
voting with our dollars, and that's
I
it's
already
come
told
down
you
to.
all that I'm opening my OnlyFans.
OnlyFans
page.
for education?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's just OnlyFans.
He's going for real
Only
money.
EDU.
I mean, you like little,
Mm-hmm. All right. Well,
what if we have any
smart
OnlyFans
asses.
OnlyFans music?
Staying out of that one.
they're staying so far away
He's
from
looking
this.
around the room like, did they find my OnlyFans page?
And if you look on Twitter, you'll see the picture of Larry having to sit next to me.
Yeah.
How many fans do you have on OnlyFans, Larry?
I'm not on there. Like, I have no idea what you are talking about at this point.
Well, this is the first time
we
you've
went
said
from
that,
Apple
because
TV
you're kind of sitting there
being
looking
used
around the
as a
room
video
like,
conferencing.
did they find out about my OnlyFans page?
Look, but let's face it, the tie-in with your phone to Apple TV to video conference is leading directly. Technology is driven by the adult entertainment sector.
Oh, here we go.
There it is.
It's going to happen. I mean,
2024, Kentucky. I don't
There's-
have to
there's-
worry about it.
So,
for a
Jamie,
while.
there's a reason that they host. Is it CES used to be hosted at the
Yes.
same time as
Yeah.
what's the adult?
AVN,
AVN.
right?
Wow,
Of course you guys know.
knew
It's
that
a great
really
show.
I
fast.
remember that
By
because
the way.
I remember that.
I may
InfoComm.
and
It
or
was
may
here.
not have family members who have been a part of that show.
I think it was actually in Orlando.
Wait.
too.
In what respect?
You do the math.
Oh,
Okay.
Meth.
It's the AVN
You
Awards,
do the math.
man. It's a good
Right.
time.
Pretty
I'll
sure
tell you
that's
that.
sold in the neighborhood where my hotel is.
It's a good time.
wow.
Listeners who know what it is, it's a good time too. So
It's a good time to be had by all.
I guess.
for the whole family.
And that concludes our discussion on the Apple TV.
Somehow we
coming
ended up
soon
with
to
made
a,
it.
coming to
We
coming
made
soon to a
it.
conference room near you, the AVN Award. I mean Apple TV. So yeah. All right, take a quick break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about the Higher Ed AV Awards, the first
First ever.
First annual, the inaugural. I was going to say the first inaugural. No, first annual inaugural. It's the same thing. Higher Ed AV Awards. And I got to find my thing to click
Math
here.
checks out. Okay. We'll give you credit for it.
Hey y'all, I've got this new show I got to tell you about. It's called AVSF Live. That's LIVE exclamation point. First off, all you need to do is go to avsf.live.live, not .com, not .net, but .live. Yes, it's a website, does work. We're going to try out this new live video thing. It's probably going to go over like a hair in a biscuit. You got to check it out. Come to the tweeters and look us up on LinkedIn to find out more information. We'll see y'all soon.
So last night was the first ever
Inaugural annual.
an annual inaugural ever first
Maiden voyage.
the maiden voyage of the Higher Ed AV Awards.
Yeah, that's
you had
right.
to think about that
It was a
way
lot.
too
There was
hard.
There was a lot going on in there.
this.
Yeah.
I mean, you were there. You didn't drink that much.
No, I had
He
two
drank
two
Windex.
glasses of Windex.
That was the
Some-
brightest blue drink.
Find that one on Tweeters.
It remi-
That's on Twitter. I made it.
It
Look at
reminds
it.
me
There's
of
a
that-
picture of
what
it.
was
Larry,
it?
put that on the Tweeters.
It's out there.
The Greek
It's on
wedding
there.
It's
one
already
where
out
the,
there.
the moms run around. It's Windex. It's Windex.
Yeah.
It was delicious, and I have no bacteria left in my entire digestive system.
It's like drinking Listerine.
You might have diabetes now.
Get diabetes
all the sugar.
from ammonia.
There's a
all the
lot of
sugar in
sugar.
There
that
was
drink.
not much sugar in that
No?
drink. So
Yeah. Okay.
apparently, by the way, AVSF trivia. Justin is afraid of Long Island iced teas.
I've been bit before by those. They make them strong in Kentucky.
I really don't. Okay.
Yeah, it was
Usually,
Come to
like,
Kentucky.
you've had too many Long Island iced teas.
If
when
you have
order a
3
second
LITs,
one, yeah,
you're
you,
in trouble, man.
If you go back for more, you've had too many.
Yeah, it's like drinking 24 beers. You're like, I'm going to go drive. Like, no, no, you can't do that on
And
LITs.
even in Kentucky, 24 beers is too much for
No.
driving.
Can't do that. That's a
23,
no-no.
you're good.
You're under
23 and a half? You're
Hey,
pushing the...
A suitcase in the cooler for 5 o'clock call. They're good.
Yeah, yeah.
So we had the awards. I was looking for a list. Do we have a full list of all the winners? I was going to rattle off everybody, but I can't.
Oh, you want like the definitive?
I was going to
list?
find the definitive list.
I bet Google has it.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. Google was there.
Yeah, Google was there. They were hosting.
They're always listening.
But we did want to specifically call out and a hearty congratulations to those in the first ever inaugural annual Higher Ed AV Hall of Fame.
Stand up people here.
Starting with our very own Justin Rexing. So
Yeah.
congratulations,
Yeah.
Justin.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Thanks,
Hey,
y'all.
Yes.
Classic speech. And
I shortened the speech.
we must say that the planting of the AVSF sticker on Joe Way,
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah.
that was beauty.
I
Yeah,
wonder
that
if
was
Joe
good.
even knows about that.
It
I'm
doesn't
not
matter. The fact that everybody else in the room does.
Yeah, there was pictures
And-
taken. A lot.
There's
People
She
were
got
putting
some
it-
pictures. Everybody got pictures.
Yeah, it fell off once,
was
and we had
real.
somebody else
It
put
got
it back on for
Yeah.
us.
I think
That
Lex
was on
put it
some-
back on.
Yeah.
So
Thanks,
Lex did
Joe.
that. Tim
Joe,
put it
we
back on
will
one point
take
too,
all
so.
that advertising.
Yes.
Thank you.
So congratulations, Justin. Well deserved. Also on our list of Hall of Famers, Daryl Crawl from Panasonic Connect,
Yeah,
and
good buddy.
friend of the show.
Yep.
Donnie Merritt from University of Central Florida. Congratulations to Donnie. Julie Johnston from Avaya and formerly Indiana University. So congratulations to Julie. Willie Franklin from Otterbein University. Congratulations to Willie. I believe he also just announced his retirement too. So
Oh, did he really?
yeah, I think so. Recently, like this spring. So
Am I supposed to do that now that I'm in?
Yes.
Yeah,
By the
that's
way,
pretty much
did
a
you not
requirement.
know?
Yeah,
So
I
that's
gotta-
what Hall of Fame means.
So it's kind of like a pink slip kind
You're
of thing?
done.
Yeah.
That's essentially our way of getting you out of
We
this.
fixed the
Okay.
glitch.
Yeah.
And finally, Gina Sansevero from Atlas IED, FSR, and other wherever she's
Yes.
from previously. Great friend of the industry and a good advocate for higher ed AV all around. So congratulations to our Hall of Fame inductees, inductors, indexes,
Inductees.
inductees.
Induction.
There were also a lot of other awards
There are a lot of awards.
that were awarded to people for doing things.
I'm pretty sure it all went to one company, didn't it? Everybody won. There's one company that cleaned up on everything.
Igloo?
Yeah.
On the
Igloo.
company side, on the
Yeah.
product side, yes.
There's people too.
Yeah. No, a lot of good people. A lot of people. It was great. But
So yeah, it was an interesting event though. Getting everybody in one room.
I think that was kind of the fun part too. The awards were there, okay, but I mean that was a
But
lot
let me tell you,
of higher ed
that chicken.
people.
Ooh.
that was a lot of higher ed people, and we don't normally congregate in that kind of space, and it was kind of cool.
I just imagine that all the universities and all the commencements were all fumbling through right now because nobody was there.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, I think
for half of the
over.
schools.
Yeah, half the schools. Yeah, ours is.
Yeah, those are the schools on quarters. They were missing a lot of people. So, I did hear some good feedback from someone last night that they're going to try to make it a rule that if anybody wins the live event person of the year, they are responsible for producing and directing the next year's.
Oh yeah, game structure was atrocious last night.
It kept ringing the entire time.
Yeah, they were ringing the room out in real time the entire show. I'm not really sure.
And you could tell the people in the audience who work with live sound because they were all cringing the entire show.
I think it is what it was at that
because
point.
it was at an improv club, and I'm pretty sure they had one of those notorious feedback compressor things, and that's why it kept going all over the map.
The feedback eliminator.
This is like the
that
roughest week for
1990s
all
version of
venues in Orlando is this week. You have all these AV and sound people.
Well, and if you think
do not
about
wanna be
it,
doing
what they normally do is if it's a stand-up club, they just have one person at a mic yelling at people, and who cares about gain structure?
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when you're drunk.
we had two people
at a comedy
on the mic
club
yelling at people last night. So
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Joe Way and Tim Van Wert, who did the kind of the Abbott and Costello act there, was
with the shiny jackets.
with the matching jackets.
That didn't really accept stickers
That's a good
very
point.
well.
Yeah, sticker did fall off. So yeah, Justin did go up and he paid Joe his $20 for the award, and then
I don't think anybody saw that.
I don't think so either.
we saw it. That's all that mattered.
Yeah,
that's all that mattered.
Guys, I wanted to be a joke because all Joe talked
You
about.
should have stopped and
He's like, I should have made it a little bit more prevalent.
Yeah.
But Joe was always talking about this is not pay to play. This is not pay to play. So I was like,
Sure it is.
Might as well pay for it.
there was some heckling going on, mostly from me, but
there was some heckling going on stage
we
too.
recorded some of that too. So maybe there might be some of that dropping as
about
well,
halfway
so.
through, we decided to crack out a recorder and do
Some
pseudo color
ad-lib.
commentary.
Might have to edit that down. There was a lot of
There's a lot in there, but we'll get the interns working on that. We'll see if we can get something chopped up for you guys.
yeah.
I don't know if there was an official recording though, which I thought was a little strange. I thought
Yeah,
that
it
would
should have streamed out.
there'd been an opportunity there to stream that, or
Yeah,
at least
we-
even just record it.
We
Just
did
put
miss,
a hootie hoo on stage and be done.
We
Yeah.
did miss the opportunity.
Well, I mean, not from us. I mean, officially.
But we missed.
Well, yeah, we missed that.
Yeah.
So, do you want to announce it here? Do you want to announce the AV SuperFriends Awards next year? So we're gonna do that.
Yeah, we're gonna try to get one somewhere.
Wait,
yeah.
what?
So here's the plan.
They
Are
were
we
talking about this.
collecting or
Does
giving?
this require work?
Just for you.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Well,
I'm
you
fine
are
with it.
technically retired now, so you got the whole year.
You
I
need
can just
nothing but
chill.
time on your hands.
So
Man.
here's the thinking: we get next year, we get a table slightly off to the side like we had this year, and we do our awards between their awards.
Oh man,
It's gonna be nice.
Oh,
bring our own sound system.
Yeah.
and
Why
set
not?
It up.
Just
That'd
do
be
it right.
awesome.
Yeah, it's.
We can also pay the. It'll be in Vegas. We can pay the actual union guys to run the sound properly. So
So yeah, keep
Wow.
your inboxes open and wait for that invite to come through. Chris will be sending them out personally.
yeah, so I'm writing them out though.
Yeah.
So
You're hand delivering in the people's email boxes.
I actually thought
take a while.
with it being the first award show and the amount of stuff that Joe's doing, I really thought it was going to be a complete shit show, and it really wasn't.
No,
because
it was good.
I
It was
felt
good.
like there was some things that we could improve
Sure.
on, but it was not.
But overall,
terrible at all.
I would agree. Overall, I think it went well.
Yeah.
Like we're
I think-
trashing the sound, but like
Yeah.
that's just the
That's who we
venue
are.
And,
we were gonna find
you know,
something to trash.
Yeah,
so
and we're
it was the
AV
sound.
guys. We always trash the sound.
But otherwise, it was well planned. I thought we were going to get super behind, like 2 to
Well,
3
they made up a
hours
lot of
behind.
time. They made up some time.
Yeah,
But
it
it was
was
up
interesting
and
to hear him. They kept trying to take breaks, and we were like 45 minutes behind the printed schedule.
It's like, we're going to take a break. Like,
No, we're
oh,
not.
wait a second.
No,
No,
we're
we're
not.
not. We're right on time.
We're
We got to
gonna
keep
run
going.
this.
Yeah, they ended up on time though.
Yeah.
like they did
I think
good.
if there were any more
And in
people
live
there,
events, that's what
it would have
matters.
gotten
Yeah.
a little bit out of control.
Yeah.
It was the perfect amount of people for the venue they had, and so I think it was.
I was a
controllable.
little disappointed that when some of like the project awards and things were going out, there was no like couple of photos or
Yeah,
quick
that
little
would've
like
been cool.
30-second video of something, or just
Oh,
show
that's
me
true,
show me a
yeah.
little bit about it, because
They're all nebulous names like the classroom. It's like
Well,
okay.
even with the products, like we all Googled the Igloo thing because
Yes.
none of us actually knew what it was at the time.
And then we went,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
It's that.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
Yeah.
No, I think that would have been nice, especially the project ones, or even the live event thing, and see just one picture. This is what they put on.
yeah.
Well, Chris,
Well,
since
that
you're going to be
looks
running
awesome.
that next year,
Because
you
they,
can do all
MTSU
that.
got the classroom project. I was like, I want to see their
wanna see their
classroom.
no,
classroom,
I
So we were
yeah.
like, what's
was
the
it that
word?
one or was it the technology building?
Or the technology building one?
Justin
Was
was
a good
upset
one?
that somebody gave up at naming.
I was like, somebody got lazy at naming that building.
Yeah.
Well,
The technology building.
next year it'll be the Daddy Warbucks
Clever.
technology
It's
building.
clever.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can change it with money.
Yeah.
They can change it with
Any name can be changed with the right amount
Yeah.
of money. So, but yeah,
it was a good time.
Maybe next year we'll
Or the
raise
new
the bar.
school.
We'll come in and we'll co-sponsor.
I wanna
That's a
Google
real
that.
place.
Yeah, I know it is, but I want to Google it. I didn't know
Have
that
you-
was called.
You've never heard of the new school?
No, I never heard of it.
Okay.
How new
Yeah.
are they?
Exactly.
Apparently very.
Have you heard of the new school?
I have not.
I
I'm
I
with
believe
you.
it's
You haven't?
Yeah.
It's like
You have?
over 100 years old. I started like in the early.
How new is it then?
Well, at the time.
That is confusing as hell.
Is it
Maybe-
the newest new school? Or is there an older new school?
No, now there's the newer school.
So
and after
is
that's
that
the
a
newest
name
school.
new, or is it really?
oh yeah,
new?
is it somebody's last
Yeah, it's
name?
named
Are
after
they named
Steve
new?
New.
Yes.
I don't think that's it at all.
It caught me off guard. I was like,
You weren't
are they
prepared for
brand
that.
new?
You
Messed up
never
your whole
know.
speech.
Yeah, I was,
Maybe it was some
Yeah,
Civil War
we should.
colonel or
All
something.
right, I'm going to look it up. It is not named after Abraham New or something. So,
oh, here we
Silas
go.
New.
Silas New.
Get there. That's a little bit closer.
Founded in 1919 by progressive New York educators, largely former Columbia University staff that
Oh, so they were disgruntled Columbia
I
staff.
see what happened.
This
All
is
right.
the new Columbia.
for most of its history is known as the New School for Social Research,
Aha.
and then New School University, and now simply the New School. So
Okay.
it was formed by people who left their previous job and like, we're going to make a new school. What are we going to call it?
New school.
You got
we
it.
We don't
Yes.
care. We're not marketing. We just got to concentrate on the content.
We got to start the first department is going to be the marketing department. And they're going to call it
Guys,
a better name.
let's not get bogged down in the details. The cover page will just say new school on it, and we're just going to
Yep.
Yeah.
dial. And then
we got to
they went out to press and was like,
And what's
new
the
school?
first building they built? They built the technology building
on their new school.
at the
No.
new school.
In 1919.
I think that was different.
Hey.
Anyway,
If the, at least we educated
Back to the
somebody
future.
on something.
somebody got
today.
something out of this. Yeah.
Oh my God.
All right. Well, it was a good time.
Yeah, I think good time. We didn't mention Larry won an award for the for UNCG's
Esports.
esports arena. Does it have a formal name or just the?
This
The
esports
esports
project
arena.
of the year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And he got
Larry
nominated
didn't win
for
the
Manager
award.
of the Year.
Yeah.
UNCG won the award.
Okay.
Being
Larry's,
nominated for something
Larry's
isn't
very
nothing.
magnanimous, awarding that to
Doesn't
his
want to
team.
take any credit for that.
Okay.
Yeah, but you didn't bring home the Manager of the Year. We're
I
a little
didn't.
disappointed in that.
I'm okay with that, actually.
The rest of us are a little.
Burn. Jeez.
Yeah.
I'm proud
Twist
of you,
the knife.
Larry, for
Look,
being nominated.
I set expectations high. If your name's on the list, you better
You
damn
better
well
win. You
bring
Better
the thing
win or
home.
not be there.
Jamie flew here hoping that you were going to win that, and he's
I-
very
Larry?
disappointed.
I
Larry.
walked 1.5 miles to
Through
see
sketchy
my.
neighborhoods.
Very
Sketchy and
neighborhoods.
humid
I was
neighborhood.
offered 2 hits of meth on my way. And I sweated, and I got there in time to see you two
Well, meth will
knuckleheads
do that
win,
to you.
and then you only got
Larry.
2/3 of the awards. I'm a little
If
pissed
you're not
off.
first, you're last.
I'm okay with being last.
You're not first, you're last. Just
the
remember
first
that.
last.
as famously said by
Next year, if I get nominated,
medical
I'm not
doctor
coming.
Ricky Bobby.
Yes, that's right.
Well,
All right. So, any last thoughts on the Hired AV Awards? I think generally we say congratulations to our Hall of Fame
Everybody.
winners.
We do, yes.
Overall, it was an enjoyable evening, and look forward to next year's.
go over to that website, see all the other winners for all the product and
Yeah.
people, and
Did anybody
show them
find
love.
the actual definitive list? HigherEdAV.com.
I
Is
saw
it on
the
there?
list of nominees. I have not seen the printed version.
I
Maybe it's
think-
out on Twitter. I'm not sure.
I think it's on Twitter
Yeah.
right now,
Okay.
but I do believe it will migrate over.
By the time you're hearing this, it's probably out there somewhere.
Yeah.
It exceeded my expectations.
It did.
It
It was
really
nice.
did.
Yep.
I didn't think it was going to be that good.
Okay.
All right. So I don't know if we really have another commercial
Anything
loaded
else?
in here, but
No,
we
let's
do.
just-
I did figure,
we'll
since
be-
we're here,
Since we're here,
and InfoComm officially does not start until tomorrow, though some of us have been here for several days.
maybe for like a week now.
Not me.
What are we looking forward to? What are we looking to see? What do we think some of the trends are going to be? This is our last opportunity for an on the ground prediction of InfoComm.
I want to find the widest monitor on the show floor. That's my entire goal for this thing.
By aspect
Physically
ratio
or
just
aspect
visually?
ratio?
By aspect ratio.
Do you want it? Do you want it blended or be able to be configurably built, or a single
A
unit?
single unit that cannot
All right.
fit through standard doors.
Or an elevator. Yeah.
Okay, so
There is-
not
there is
direct view LED or anything
there
like
you
that.
go.
No, that's cheating because you can make
put
those
17
anything.
Exactly.
projectors side by side.
So
Okay.
what's
Okay.
your
All
point for this?
Just for the fun of it.
Oh, just for fun.
To make sure I go by
for the
and
taste
look
of
at
it.
all of the
Diet
display
Coke.
manufacturers.
Larry's
This'll
in
be the
charge of
reason.
interviewing each and every one of those manufacturers about that
Get it,
display.
It's
it,
like
yeah.
25 by 9.
If they have it, I will find it.
Okay.
Okay.
And his
So
question
stay
for most
tuned
display
on that.
manufacturers is, can we get this wider?
Yeah.
I want more pixels here and here, not so much here or here, but more here and here.
He's going to be like, well, so can you
Doesn't
work
hurt
the-
here or
Yeah,
here,
exactly.
but right here.
More pixels here. Nobody can see what we're doing, but it's
He has
hilarious.
lots of gestures.
I'm going to try to find the weirdest product that's claiming AI is built into it.
Well, it's going to be a lot
That's
of it.
everything.
It's going to be everywhere, but I want to find one that's clearly has nothing.
Like,
It'll be an
like a
adapter.
TV
Yeah, it's
mount?
like the most passive
Like a
AI
TV
embedded
mount?
thing. Yeah, exactly.
like,
An
whatever it is.
AI-enabled TV mount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Auto leveling would be cool.
no,
That
it's
would be
just
nice.
metal.
Yeah.
It's just
But it has
metal.
AI in it. Oh, AI designed
It was
metal?
designed, yeah.
It's just,
it was designed
there's
with
no active
Yeah.
components. It's
ChatGPT
the
and
AI.
Midjourney made this.
it's going to be the AI mute button. You
Yeah.
press this button and it shuts up automatically. It's AI.
That's cool.
It learns every time you touch the button.
If you don't have enough satoshis in the meeting, that mutes you. So,
That's right. Pay to play.
okay.
That will
Yeah,
be-
I think
okay,
we're going to
that'll
see
be
AI
interesting.
as a theme. Just a lot
It's
of
gonna be
AI-enabled
everywhere.
stuff,
Oh, yeah.
But,
It's gonna be all right.
but you're looking specifically for
I want to find something that, like there's no reason to even have AI
Gotcha.
in this, but it's going to be advertised
that
as
way.
such. Yes, it's going to be on that floor. It's out there. I'm going to find it and bring it home for you guys.
And whoever finds the most compute
Oh yeah,
on the show
we are
floor,
tracking the compute. Yes,
and we have
Let us-
our R stickers to
so
stick
yeah,
on them.
if you're listening to this and you're on a plane flying here, getting ready to hit the floor on Wednesday, if you can take pictures and tag us where you see the compute, tag AVSF.
You know what's
And
funny?
we will give you a prize for the person who has the most sightings
we
of the
didn't talk about our
computes.
special swag, too.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a lot of that in writing. It's just.
Oh, I have.
It's just
Oh,
talk.
no, I've seen it.
You've seen it in
I've
writing?
seen it in
Okay.
writing.
Yeah.
All
You could
right.
probably go to the Logitech or
Well, you
the
know, I don't
Poly
read
thing,
much,
and it's all
so.
compute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
send tag Chris in that the compute. He wants to know it. He'll track it.
Oh, I do want to talk about something. Backing up to the Higher Ed AV Awards real quick.
Wait,
Oh.
just going back like
We're going back
10 minutes
now?
here?
Sounds like a
Real
different
quick,
show.
How do y'all feel about the Logitech Awards that they won? Like, is that real?
I can't
mean, come
talk
on.
I
about
will,
Logitech
I
on
will
this
simply
show.
say Logitech won 2 awards.
They won some awards.
Did they deserve them?
Okay.
I am-
That's
I
not
have no
my,
comment.
I'm not.
That's a
Two-
question. I'm
Two
asking. I don't
different
know.
things, and I think most listeners of our podcast know the answer to that.
There was a metric. They won.
They
Metric
won.
There was a rubric that measured everything.
My
so they
cousin
won.
rubric.
I have
scored all
installed
of those.
one Rally-based system.
I have
One.
uninstalled two.
I've installed
Yes.
one, and that's where I stopped.
I've
And
installed
you
one.
are Logitech certified.
And it is no longer
So-
functioning. I'm not really sure why.
I will say,
Because you
I
updated firmware.
I didn't do anything. To
I
it.
will say
That's
about
usually what-
5 or 6 years ago, I did an entire suite of meeting spaces with their little meetup camera, but just for the camera itself, because it does physical PT or physical PT
And
PNT,
Z?
no Z,
no Z.
PNT,
Okay. You don't need that Z anyway.
and then it does, but it has its own microphone and speaker, which I didn't use. And then we put a Biamp Devio with it. It worked great.
Yes.
But again, this was like 2017, 18.
It did until they updated.
But
software.
you know, you.
No, I-
But I put a Devio with it.
No,
It-
you're talking like holistic Logitech room
Solutions.
kit thingamajigger.
And this predated the Rally stuff. So
So I am going to go to the Logitech booth and find out what all the buzz is about down for Logitech because they are out there and I see a lot of it on Commercial Integrator. And I want to see why.
I will say one of the products that won is the Logitech Scribe, and we do talk about marker board, whiteboard, chalkboard
That's a
cameras
thing.
a lot.
Yeah.
I have the Logitech Scribe in my current standard classroom because of all of the marker board cameras. It's the one that seems to be the best compromise between the
Interesting.
performance of it and the installation. Because
I've been using the Hudley one, so I'm now
But the
going to
Hudley one,
look at the Scribe.
It's
Right.
got the weird thing with the cable. I get it.
the Hudley one, I
I
want
can
to
get
kick
around
myself
that.
in the teeth when I have to install it.
Yes.
So,
Can you do that?
yes, I'm very flexible.
If one thing we know about Chris, highly flexible. There's notes.
But there's other ones out there. There's the Captivo, and there's a couple of. I will just say in general, I am a fan of that product category. It is very nascent and limited. I would love to see somebody like a Panasonic or Sony step in and do it right.
I love that product category. Like, I'm a big fan of it after I saw you use them, but I want one that outputs video. That's my biggest thing right now.
Just the USB's killing you.
Yeah.
the USB,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm a Captivo.
We've always
shop.
we're always wondering where's this the UVC to HDMI adapter or UVC to
There is
HD
one.
based T.
I just wanted
who makes
SDI
it?
because really,
That's one I want to go look at. Somebody's
Somebody's
doing
making them.
one
I know.
right
I have
now.
some.
I have one
I've
of my
seen one
Amazons
recently.
right now. I'll go
I
find
think
it.
M
Amazons.
Solutions or
Somebody has
something
one, yeah.
has just announced some new.
But you want it with the loop.
thingamajigger.
You want it to retain the USB so you can pass it on. on, but then also scrape it and give you that HD base T or something like that on the outside.
It's something that I can just quickly
Fine.
send across the
AV
room.
over IP, Justin, for you.
Composite? I want composite.
Oh, you want composite?
You want USB to composite
you want RCAs
only.
on the
Yes.
back of that thing.
Because the issue is my camera is never near my compute. So therefore,
what the shit
I'm
just
leaving.
happened?
Can we please move
We're
on?
gonna edit that out.
Can you? Yeah. Can
Stupid
you talk to our
compute.
post production crew and?
Yeah, we're gonna get the contract out. I'm not even sure if that's legal.
Oh yeah. that was- making words up.
Chris is over here surfing Amazon trying to find.
I'm trying to find the
adapter
little
right now.
the tchotchke that I found a couple months ago, and I bookmarked it, but I can't find it.
And
The irony of Chris searching for an AV product on Amazon,
Amazon.
at the AV show.
I didn't say I was
Right.
going to use it, but I'm just saying it's out there.
You think Amazon's gonna floor? I think they'll have somebody down there.
In
at some
10 years, they're
point
gonna
they
have
will.
a-
so, yeah.
I'm really kind of shocked that they haven't.
yeah.
Like an AV specific.
Well, I would
keep
expect Microsoft or
Microsoft's
down
here.
there. They're down
Okay.
there.
Microsoft's here and
Yeah.
has
I was-
been for several years.
I know they
keep
have. I thought they
expecting-
bailed out.
I'm going
Did
to
they
the
not?
Microsoft booth. 'Cause
Oh, yeah, I am too.
We're all going to be swallowing that MTR pill. So
I'm
yeah,
not.
it's coming.
And I think that
it's
Not
a-
without a fight.
it's a suppository.
It'll be
It
the
doesn't go
so Justin, that will be the ironically, because for years we had the Microsoft versus Apple sort of camps. We're going to see the exact same thing in conference rooms. It's going to be the deans or the admins who want the MTR, or the deans or the admins who want the Apple TV.
No, they're the ones. They're going to
I'm-
ask for the MTR, and then they're going to go home for Christmas, and they're going to want the Apple TV.
right, but I'm
to
saying
work.
it's coming from the same people.
And I'm going straight to the freaking Apple room, man. I'm going straight there.
Immersive goggles everywhere,
Yeah,
right?
yep.
That's right.
Apple room.
I am surprised Amazon hasn't made a play. I'm surprised they haven't bought Zoom. I know they have their own little stupid thing, but it sucks.
Well, they used to make phones. Remember that?
They tried.
They got into the
Yeah.
phone game and all that stuff. And that would have been their entry point. But they're not big hardware. They're not like
No.
aligned for that.
No, they're not. But a software platform like
Yeah.
Zoom fits right into their AWS. They pull it right in, and now they have.
Why
all
have any of them
those-
when you can have all of them? They all run on AWS. So
So I found a little adapter box, and it's just as bad as you would think. It's made by Ozbot.
I don't want anything that's bad.
I didn't say it was bad. It's just like as bad as you
I've heard
think.
good thing about that Ozbot thing.
But the
Yeah,
so
but you
it's,
use
it's
like,
UVC
stuff I
in, so
don't.
USB in,
talking about whack-a-mole.
shot-
HDMI out, and it looks like it does have a loop for.
Jamie, you shop for
There's
your
no loop
AV where you get your bananas.
So what? If it
Yeah.
works, it works.
And it works. And I'm not the one bitching about Zoom rooms all the time.
That's not my choice.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll take that
Yeah,
Pac-Man button.
you gotta
And
make
you,
it
you
done.
are bitching about Zoom rooms all the time.
It's just
I
yours,
am, but
yeah.
they're your Zoom rooms.
yeah, I know.
So what else are we looking for on the show floor?
Looking to find out where we're setting up our recording box to do live shows.
Oh yeah, we should
you know.
probably mention that.
Yeah, we're gonna have on the off the cuff and
Off the floor.
off the
off
floor.
the floor interviews. We'll have all kinds of good content coming this week.
opening takes in the morning
Yep.
at 8 a.m. at Stern.
Hot
that everybody
takes
can come
with
see.
coffee.
Hot takes.
So as you're waiting in line for the doors to crack open, you might be able to catch the show. You know,
Us screaming at each other. We'll be
Yeah.
laughing at you coming in as you're laughing at us.
Yeah.
Already in there.
And that 8:00 Monday, Tuesday, or Monday? No, Wednesday, Thursday,
Wednesday.
Friday. What
Yes.
day is it?
It's
Today.
Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday.
yeah.
It feels like
It feels like
December.
I don't know.
But
to me.
It'll be kind of cool. We've identified some folks that we're going to go talk to and bring you shows and little segments throughout the week and the weekend. And if you come find some of us, we also have some pretty cool little things to give away. too.
Doodads.
special swag.
Special
We will-
swag.
You have to find us and earn it.
Mhm.
I mean,
Because,
like a dancing monkey.
well, I was gonna. I saw one last night get given away that I think was a little.
Anybody who says I'm a fan and comes up and says, you know what, I've been listening to you and I've got all my people listening to you, I think that's in fair play.
Right,
Yep.
but that's not what happened.
That's what happened.
It is what.
That's
What
what happened.
actually happened.
Yeah, it happened. So yeah, there's some rarity
Limited edition.
swag stuff out there that
And we
is.
got stickers.
And there's lots of other stuff too, but definitely find us, track us down if you know what
We have tweakers that don't work.
we
No,
still have. Some
I'm
of
sorry,
those
they
that
don't
do
fit.
work.
They do work. We
I
fixed
use
our
that.
rack with them.
Yes, you're hearing this
See?
because we had those screwdrivers in our kit. I didn't call them tweakers.
Good point. So the Phillips side works well on rack screws,
yes.
Yeah.
but the tweaker side doesn't work so well on tweakish things.
I don't think that's a
Well-
screwdriver. That's not a flathead screwdriver. That's a scraper, Chris.
I think
is a scraper.
it's one of those little opener things.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
on the
But it
plastic
works
casing.
well
It's for
on,
digging mud out of your boots.
Or
That's
floor
the speaker
boxes.
level
when you got to
Phoenix
get the
connectors.
lock out of a floor box,
the
Yeah.
5 mil.
it'll
Yeah.
twist that floor lock. You
Even
use
though-
like a quarter.
as opposed to a penny.
Yeah.
The most expensive key in the world. I've watched people struggle like to find which of the things on their Leatherman fits that, and I'm like, Dude, that's a penny?
Yeah, but who carries pennies anymore?
Right.
Chris.
Fair enough.
It's all
I-
Satoshis now, Chris.
Probably
Come on.
me, yeah.
You take it out of
He's
your
got one of
loafers.
those old school plastic coin things.
The coin purse. It's where I put my pennies.
For all your
You guys
candies.
don't carry coins around for things?
We don't carry cash. Why would
Yeah, I
we
don't
carry-
have cash at all.
You can take a $1 bill, fold it a bunch of times, and actually open one
What do you
of
have?
those,
I
too.
think you have like $42 or $41 in your.
how many
No, I
dollar-
had 20s last
How many
night.
dollar
That's what I'm
bills are
saying.
you rolling with?
Right now?
Let's,
I gave
let's,
her
do,
20
let's do a
back.
check. What do we
Live.
got here?
Oh,
we
this
go.
isn't fair for me today. 'cause
What do we
I
got?
actually
I think I
went to the
have.
bank.
I got a Band-Aid.
I'm
I
lucky
got
if
nothing.
I have
I got
a
my
debit card
baggage
on me.
claim barcode, and
I have
got,
this suspiciously wrinkled 20 I got back from Justin.
I got a
Yeah.
Metro
Last
Bus
night. I don't know
pass
what
from
happened to
Madrid.
it.
Guys, I really don't think telling people how much is in your wallet's a good
I have
idea.
nothing.
On
You're
a
the one who
show
brought it up.
before you go
Oh, here
walking
you go.
around.
I'm going to add to your wallet.
What is
I
this?
forgot to give
Oh,
you
my
that.
credit card.
Yeah.
My AVSF card. Man, this has been a long time.
Hey,
Is
buy
it
some
still
stuff on
valid?
Amazon real quick.
It's good for another 6 months. All right.
Cool.
I have $14 in my wallet.
Also,
14.
also coming up, you guys teaching some classes, have some presentations.
Well, those will be long
Hey,
gone.
highlight
For-
some of those.
Well, we are doing in less than an hour, actually. We're doing
Jesus.
a...
We got to go eat lunch.
Oh,
What's
man.
this lunch thing?
Here's lunch.
We're doing a education summit put on by HETMA following Project Process, so that's today. Larry's doing a presentation. When's that one?
That one is on Thursday at 11 o'clock. How esports can take your university to the next level.
Fantastic.
Level up.
Yeah.
Anything else we want to highlight? We're going to be around, so
We'll be around.
look for lots of these shows this week.
All right. Well,
We'll see you there.
it's been
See
real.
if I can find a thing here.
Glad we all made it. It's been nice.
Yeah,
Why
did
is
we,
this not?
You guys are all
travel
taller, not in your
problems?
own little box. It's amazing how much taller you guys all are.
I'm not taller.
Really? I showed up thinking that. You see that picture on Twitter, I'm like, damn, I am tiny.
Which, again, is the only fan
Okay.
site.
All right.
Is that my OnlyFans? Damn, I'm tiny.
Well, we've managed to ruin yet another episode of AV SuperFriends Off the Rails. You can contact us with questions, topic ideas, or general complaints at mailbag@avsuperfriends.com. If you complain loud enough, we might just invite you on the show.
Nice work, everyone. Sharp broadcast. Really good. Everyone on the floor as well. Really a lot of hustle. I liked it.
The opinions expressed by the AV SuperFriends are solely those of the individuals and do not represent their respective institutions, organizations, companies, or clients.
Industrial strength night vision goggles.